I have come to the conclusion that genealogy is absolutely wild. The summer before I started 11th grade, one of my AP U.S. history assignments that had to be turned in like day one was a family tree project. And in researching my family tree, my dad got really into our family genealogy. Prior to this, we knew some basics, at least through great-grandparents of mine. And on 3/4 of my family tree, the trail pretty much stopped after that because 6 of my 8 great-grandparents came here from Italy in the early 1900s. So 3 of my 4 grandparents are first-generation Americans. But that 4th branch, that elusive 4th branch, started getting real interesting real fast. Now, by the time 11th grade rolled around, I was already bitten by the history bug. But because so much of my family tree kind of had this stop, this obstacle to going further back once you went further than my great-grandparents, I had never really felt, I don't know how you'd say it, super connected personally to U.S. history. And then my dad found out that his grandmother's grandfather enlisted in the 81st New York Regiment, fought in the Civil War, and died May 31st, 1862 in the Battle of Seven Pines. Obsessions being what they are, my dad continued to trace things. The guy that this guy's daughter married was the great-grandson of a guy who fought in the American Revolution, enlisting at like 17 years old with an Albany County militia company that was part of the 14th New York Militia Regiment. And at some point, my dad actually found his muster record, as well as his pension application. Because in 1832, Congress finally passed legislation to set up pensions for American Revolution patriot veterans. Unfortunately, a lot of them had already passed away by that point, but my guy was still alive in his 70s, so he applied. And what's really cool is that the National Archives has now digitized their entire catalog of all of the pension records for American Revolution veterans. So I actually found the affidavits that had to be submitted to verify his service. Being the geek that I am, I then started poking around a little bit more. And that guy who fought in the Civil War and died, I found like this published genealogy for his family. Apparently it was a thing back in like 1902 for people to publish their family genealogies. And my Civil War veteran, turns out, was the son of an American Revolution veteran. And that also fought in a New York militia company at 16 years old, along with all of his brothers. Although, they had a much older half-brother who apparently fought with Burgoyne and was captured when Burgoyne surrendered after the Battle of Saratoga, and then escaped to Canada. I think maybe we won't talk about him. Though it's particularly interesting that this group of half-brothers happened to be on opposite sides of the Battle of Saratoga. In the 1790s, my ancestor ended up moving to Ontario, Canada with a bunch of other guys from Massachusetts. So for a hot minute, I thought that he had loyalist tendencies, which made me a little nervous, until I found out that he fought in a New York militia company. So I'm hoping this was just a case of land opportunities and not like secret Tory tendencies, because that'd be a bit of a downer. All of this to say that when I look at my family tree, it makes me feel something inside, and I can't quite explain in words what that feeling is. I have family that have served this country and fought for this country. Uncles, my dad, my grandfather. But knowing that I have people further back in my family tree that fought for the foundation of this country and fought and died for the preservation of this country, there's a connection there that I just can't discount. Especially going into the 250th anniversary of this country, of our founding, of the Declaration. I have people who fought for that, and I don't know their reasons, but they fought for something that I think we should still be fighting for. 250 years is not just a milestone. We should be thinking of it as a mile marker. We are not done.